The Indiana Pacers are one of the biggest surprises of early last season. Tyrese Haliburton emerged as an all-star and the team's franchise player in just his age 22 season. It was truly a breakout season for Rese, who averaged a career-high 20.7 points per game and finished second in the league in assists at 10.4 per game. He went down with an injury on January 11th, and the team couldn't stay afloat without him. However, at the time of his injury, the Pacers were the 7th seed in the Eastern Conference and looked like a legitimate playoff team, which was a surprise. Clearly, Indiana liked what they saw as they gave Haliburton a 5-year, $260 million contract extension this offseason. The goal is to be a playoff team this year and take a jump from the 11th place they finished last season. They made a great step in that direction by fixing their biggest issue this offseason. Last year, the Pacers essentially had no power forward, and often resorted to starting shooting guard Aaron Nesmith at the 4 spot. They drafted power forward Jarace Walker in the top 10 of this year's draft, and traded for former New York Knick Obi Toppin. A solid power forward will benefit greatly from playing alongside Haliburton, as we could see more pick-and-roll combinations as well as more lobs to Toppin. He likely won't play the power forward spot, but they also brought in 2023 NBA champion Bruce Brown on a 2-year, $45 million contract this summer. He's going to bring more defense and toughness to Indiana. It's a team built of solid veterans and young guys with upside and could take a big jump this season. It reminds me a lot of the Cavs situation. They were surprisingly good in 2022 before being decimated by injuries, then became a legit playoff team last season. After being decimated by injuries last year, I believe the Pacers will make the playoff leap this season. Now let's take a deeper look at why. Before we get into the East's newest playoff team, if you enjoy my content and watch a few videos of mine, think about subscribing. 91% of my viewers are actually not subscribed, so if you're watching before and enjoy the content, drop a sub and comment down below. It really helps the channel. As of right now, the Indiana Pacers have the 8th highest win total in the Eastern Conference at 38.5 games. I think they're in the general right vicinity, but the team could finish 6th or 7th, and I believe they'll be a 500 or better team. The sportsbooks realize they're a good team, but it still seems somewhat low. At the time of Haliburton's injury last season, the team had a record of 23-19. That's about a pace of 45 wins for a whole season. So 38.5 projected wins for a team that clearly got better and will just be healthier next season feels somewhat disrespectful. They fixed their biggest glaring weakness and got rewarded by being projected to finish about 3 games below 500. The Pacers are going to be a playoff team next season, and they'll likely be noticeably better than many are predicting. But that depends on the players. So let's look at the impact guys for Indiana. The undisputed franchise player and leader for the Pacers has to be 23-year-old Tyrese Haliburton. They traded a 2-time All-Star with the franchise in Domantas Sabonis to get him, and have now paid him max money as well. And honestly, it's all 100% worth it. The young point guard has an argument as the best playmaker in the entire league already, and may be the best floor general to enter the league since Chris Paul. Last season, he averaged 21 points, 10.5 assists, and nearly 2 steals per game. He's also a career 41% shooter from 3. He'll likely be a perennial all-star in the Eastern Conference, and is one of those players that makes his entire team better. He also led Team USA in assists at the FIBA World Cup and was one of the team's best players. Indiana has found a star to build around. The team will go as far as he takes them. Then we should talk about last season's rookie dynamo bucket getter in Bennedict Mathurin. The team selected him with the 6th overall pick in the 2022 NBA Draft. He doesn't do a ton at this point outside of scoring, but boy can he fill it up. He averaged 17 points and 4 rebounds per game off the bench last season. I assume he's promoted to a starter in year 2. His efficiency could improve at just 43% from the field and 32% from 3, but that's something that most rookies struggle with, so it's not exactly a huge point of concern. He was a 20-point per game scorer for practically the first 4 months of the season, but a slump in February and March brought down his total. I'm not sure he's truly appreciated for what he is, because he's always in trade rumors, but Miles Turner is a very good starting center in the NBA. He's one of the league's only true 3-and-D centers. At 27 years old, he's just starting to enter his prime. Last season, he averaged 18 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game while shooting 37% from 3. It was undoubtedly the best season of Turner's career so far. There was a while where some thought he had a legit all-star case. He's a 2-time block champ and one of the best rim protectors in the league. Hopefully Indy has realized what they have and taken him off the trade block. He should be the starting center for this team for years to come. Then we have to talk about the big free agent addition in 2023 NBA champion Bruce Brown. His numbers may not wow you at 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, but he was absolutely crucial in Denver winning the finals last season. He hits open shots, big shots, and locks up on defense. He's an extremely versatile player and will benefit from playing with Haliburton just as he did with Jokic. A lot of his offense relies on cutting to the basket, where he will be hit for easy looks. Did the team overpay him a bit? Yeah, probably, but they valued what he'd bring to the team and had the money to spend. Then I want to spend some time talking about Obi Toppin, because I think he'll really break out with this team. He was stuck behind Julius Randle, and fair enough, Randle does have 2 All-NBA appearances in the last 3 seasons. However, Toppin had a lot of talent to offer, yet Coach Tibbs refused to play them together and really held Obi back. He will have a clear path to the starting power forward role this season and should get a legit opportunity. In 15 starts so far in his NBA career, Toppin has averaged 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, while shooting 58% from the field and 44% from 3. That also includes 4 games with 32 or more points. All he needs is a legit shot, and Haliburton is the perfect teammate for him. Knicks players often missed open lobs with him, which Rese will not. Then we should talk about another good rookie from last year in Andrew Nembhard. Despite being a second-round pick, he actually started over the 6th pick in Mathurin. He's the same age as Haliburton at 23 years old and gained a lot of experience in college. He averaged 10 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds per game last season and was just a very steady presence in the backcourt. Buddy Hield had a very quietly good season last year. He averaged 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists per game while shooting a very impressive 43% from 3. He continues to be one of the best shooters in the league and someone who can just put the ball in the basket. He's great for spacing because defenses have to respect him, and it's also just nice to have an efficient score. I called him out earlier this summer for having a very obvious burner account on Twitter, which is honestly just hilarious. It's very clear that he doesn't like the Kings, and Kings fans really don't like him. In terms of lineup, the starters for Indiana should be Haliburton, Mathurin, Brown, Toppin, and Turner. Then the second unit should be McConnell, Nembhard, Hield, Jarace Walker, and Jalen Smith. Guys like Aaron Nesmith, Jordan Nwora, and Isaiah Jackson could get some minutes as well. You could say maybe you swap out Hield for, Bruce Brown or even Obi Toppin in the starting lineup, but I think there's kind of benefits to starting Toppin and Brown over a guy like Hield and having a bucket getter like Hield off the bench. So what should we expect from the Pacers in 2024? On the low end, they would finish somewhere around the 9 or 10 range, make the play-in tournament but miss the playoffs. I find it to be nearly impossible that the team would miss the play-in tournament altogether. On the high end, the team could finish somewhere in the 4th to 6th range in the East and avoid the play-in with a guaranteed playoff berth. They really could be that good. Expect at least one All-Star in Haliburton, but if they really overachieve, one of Turner or Mathurin could make it as well. This team is going to be a playoff team this year. They proved it last season. Now they're healthy and I would argue have significantly improved. Thanks for watching. I'm Herm. Have a good one.